Yo, what's going on? My name is David. I majored in mathematics in my undergrad and graduated with honors, but I didn't retain a single thing. College was kind of a rough period in my life. Half of my time was spent under lockdown, the other half was spent battling a crippling Rainbow Six Siege addiction. So instead of listening to my online lectures about ring theory, I was trying to hit nasty spawn peaks on Cafe. Now, in the midst of my quarter life crisis, I think it might be a good idea to actually understand those things that I took student loans out to learn. So, what is statistics? It's one of those words you hear in common parlance all the time. People will talk about sports statistics, crime statistics, polling statistics, yada yada yada. They'll kind of vaguely gesture their hand at it when they're like making a point, but they won't ever really say what it's about. From the American Statistical Association, statistics is the science of learning from data and measuring, controlling, and communicating uncertainty. Statistics is used in conjunction with other sciences in order to learn from data and draw conclusions. For example, astrophysicists use advanced statistical methods in order to infer that the expansion of the universe is accelerating rather than decelerating. That is a combination of physics and statistics. Potmar analyzing market trends and demographic data in order to figure out which little plastic toy is going to make them $1 trillion next quarter is a combination of economics and statistics. These are both conclusions that are drawn via the science of statistics based on data. It's one of those things that's around us all the time, especially in the era of big data. So what is data? Data are, and yes, data is both a plural and singular word. English is confusing like that, but I digress. Data are measurements or observations that are collected as a source of information. Most definitions just come around to data being some type of information that you want to collect. The important part that it is collected. It becomes data when you want to think about it critically. By extension, basically everything is data. Movie review scores are data, album sales numbers are data, you are data. Right now, some algorithm at Amazon has condensed everything about you, everything that makes you human, into a user profile in order to recommend the worst possible home decor. Do not buy it, you do not need it, you're better than that. Data can be organized in what is called a data matrix. In a data matrix, each row is a case or observational unit, and each column is a variable. In more academic settings, data matrices are usually paired with a variable description table that tells you the characteristics of each variable being collected. Let me give you an example of a data matrix that you've all probably seen before. It's the first day of fall, and you're one of those people that says, once it get cold, I'm gonna really start dressing. You've got your eyes on a Rick Owens Crust Fall Winter 09 burger leather jacket. The seller isn't budging, and you're not broke, but you gotta hit a come up in order to get the jacket. You take yourself over to Prize Picks or whatever your degenerate gambling sports book of choice is and cook up a cool little parlay. It all hinges on a Bijan Robinson over 75 rushing yards prop bet. It should be easy. He's arguably the best running back in the league right now. First half is going great. He's already at 35 rushing yards and a touchdown. So you flip to a different game because, let's be real, you're not a Falcons fan. And if you are, you have my condolences. You flip back with 13 seconds left in the fourth quarter and your heart sinks. Number 7 isn't in the backfield. It's Tyler fucking Algier. You go to Google as fast as you can and you type in Atlanta Falcons game stats, and there you see it. Tyler Algier, 47 rushing yards. Bijan Robinson, 40 rushing yards. Tyler vultured everything in the second half. Maybe they were getting blown out or something, and Bijan was like wide receiver 1 out there now. Forget the Rick Owens. You don't even have next month's rent. You got to sell your PS5 for like maybe $250 at this point and try and flip that into a couple racks. You're going to have to dive back into Prize Picks. The late window is looking crazy. Are you really going to trust your last $250 on anyone on the Las Vegas Raiders? Anyway, the player stats table that you looked at to confirm that fat ass L you just took is a data matrix. Each player inhabits a row on the matrix, thus they are a case, and each column or statistics that's being collected, as in like passing yards, rushing yards, things like that, those are all your variables. There are 2 types of variables that each have 2 subtypes. First, there are numerical variables that can take number values, and within numerical variables, there are discrete and continuous numerical variables. Not that type of discrete, by the way. Discrete numbers are distinct individual values that cannot be broken down into smaller parts. Basically, no decimals or fractions. If you want to be more mathematical about it, the discrete numbers describe integers. Continuous numerical variables can take any number within a specified range, including fractional or decimal. Again, this would refer to the real numbers if you want to be more mathematical about it. The other type of variable is categorical. They take on non-numeric characteristic values. The values are called levels. Within categorical variables, there are ordinal and nominal. Ordinal variables have a natural ordering to their levels. For example, when you're filling out a job application, they usually ask for your level of educational attainment. And the order usually like some high school diploma / GED, some college, bachelor's, etc. Nominal categorical variables have no ordering. Going back to our sports betting example and general sports example, we can classify some of our variables into types. Touchdowns would be a discrete numerical variable. You can't score like a fraction of a touchdown. QB rating will be a continuous numerical variable. For example, a perfect QBR is 158.3, which is dumb. Why is it not 100? Wouldn't 100 make more sense? A player's position will be a nominal categorical variable. There is no real ordering to the positions on the field. Finally, an ordinal categorical variable is a little bit trickier in our example. The best example I could think of would be injury status. There actually is a order to the injury status that shows up on IR reports every week, with probable being the most likely to play and out being, out for the game, not likely to play at all. So yes, your local degenerate sports bettor is a statistician. Not really, I'm kidding. So what is statistics? From what I can tell so far, it is a systemic science concerned with learning from data and communicating uncertainty. Data comes in two types with two subtypes each. There are numerical variables that come in continuous numerical and discrete numerical. Then there are categorical variables which come in nominal categorical and ordinal categorical variables. It is a highly interdisciplinary science that uses conjunction with a wide range of studies, including biology, economics, astrophysics, and many more. Later, we'll actually talk about properly gathering data and then the various ways that you can look at your data once it's collected. For now, I gotta go hit the books so I can relearn all this stuff. So I will catch you guys in the future.